All right, let's get into it. I bet we all know someone like this. Maybe it's a parent, a grandparent, maybe it's you. You know, that person who is an absolute master of frugality, but at the same time is capable of mind-blowing generosity. It feels like a total paradox, right? Well, today we're going to unravel the fascinating logic and, more importantly, the psychology behind it all.
Seriously, does this ring a bell? The person who will fight you over a $2 price difference for a bag of coffee, but then slip you $200 for your birthday and not even think about it. They're the ones reusing tea bags, patching up jeans that are 20 years old, and treating that ancient car in the driveway like it's a priceless heirloom. So, what is going on there?
It's the big question, isn't it? From the outside, it looks completely bonkers, totally irrational. But what if I told you it's not irrational at all? What if it's actually a super effective, deeply wired strategy for long-term survival and, believe it or not, success? Let's crack this thing open.
Yeah, there is a massive gap between how we see this behavior and what's really happening. Our modern consumer world loves to slap a label on it. Stingy, out of touch, maybe even a little broken. But the truth? The truth is something way more powerful. This mindset is strategic, it's incredibly competent, and most of all, it's fundamentally resilient.
The whole financial game plan here really boils down to one simple, powerful idea. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or, more accurately, if it works, don't touch it. Why on earth would you buy a new car when the old one gets you from A to B just fine? Why replace a toaster if you can fix it with a 10-minute YouTube video? See, this isn't about being cheap, it's about being efficient. It's about valuing what you already have. And that right there, that's the foundation where real wealth gets built, quietly in the background.
And this is where the math starts to get pretty mind-blowing. Let's just put a number on it. Let's say by fixing things, always shopping the sales, and just flat out refusing to pay full price for most things, this person saves, on average, just $50 a week. $50. It sounds like nothing, right? It's pocket change. A couple of fancy coffees, a streaming service you forgot about, but you know, it's not small, not at all. Because here it is. Here's the magic. That $50 a week, if you just invest it modestly, well, it compounds into over $135,000 in just 10 years. 135 grand. All of a sudden, that 200,000-mile car doesn't look so stingy, does it? It looks like a wealth-generating machine. But listen, the math is only half the story. The real reason this happens goes so much deeper. So let's talk psychology. To really, truly get this, we've got to step away from the calculator and look inside the human brain. We need to talk about what it means for your brain to be crisis-coded.
This is the absolute key to the whole thing. A crisis-coded brain is a brain that was shaped, forged, during a time of serious economic stress and scarcity. Think about the 1970s, with the oil crisis, insane inflation. Things felt unstable, resources felt scarce. And if you grew up in that environment, it didn't just teach you a few lessons about money. No, it literally rewired your nervous system for survival.
So, get this. When this person feels that anxiety at the checkout line, it's not them being dramatic. For them, the pain of paying is a literal physical thing. Brain scans actually show that for some people, spending money lights up the insula. That's the same part of the brain that fires up when you feel physical pain or detect a threat. It's a hardwired alarm system yelling, "Warning, resources are leaving, protect what we have." It's a survival instinct.
And this brings us to a really important way to reframe this whole conversation. We're so often told that this kind of scarcity mindset is a flaw, right? It's a bug in our programming we need to fix. But what if it's not a bug at all? What if it's a feature? What if it's a quiet superpower?
And hey, if any of this is hitting close to home for you, I really want you to hear this next part. You are not broken. You are not boring. Your brain, your nervous system, it isn't stuck in the past. What it's actually doing is playing a really sophisticated, really smart, long-term game of durability. And it's doing it in a world that is obsessed with the short term. So what does that playbook actually look like? Well, first, this mindset forces you to build what you could call quiet competence. You just learn how to fix things, how to be resourceful, how to solve problems without just throwing money at them. Second, it gives you a natural, built-in immunity to all the consumer traps out there designed to get you to spend. And most importantly, it makes playing the long game your default setting. And that, my friends, is the real secret to building lasting security.
So when you boil it all down, the person driving that old car, they're not just saving a few $100 on a car payment. No. They are building a fortress of resilience brick by brick with every single dollar they save and every skill they learn. And that incredible generosity they show to others, it's possible because of their frugality with themselves. The two things aren't a contradiction, they are two sides of the very same powerful coin.
And that leaves us with one last thing to chew on. In our world of one-click buying, buy now, pay later, and this constant pressure to have the newest, latest thing, is this crisis-coded ability to delay gratification, to build real skills, and to just play the long game. Is that a lost superpower? Definitely something worth thinking about.